Have you ever asked yourself why you feel weaker, even though you eat meals you thought were healthy? Picture this. You're preparing what seems like the perfect breakfast, a nice spinach omelette made with fresh eggs from the market. You feel proud of your choice, thinking you're doing something great for your health. But what if I told you this healthy-looking meal could be hurting your muscles instead of helping them? One of the same vegetables you've been adding to your eggs, the ones you believed were keeping you strong, are actually stopping your body from using the protein it needs so badly. My name is Dr. Thomas Reed. I've spent the last 30 years helping people over 60 stay strong and full of energy. And today, I want to tell you something that may really surprise you. There are 3 everyday vegetables that, when eaten with eggs, can cut your body's ability to take in important muscle-building nutrients by as much as 87%. In this video, I'm going to tell you what those vegetables are, why they cause this problem, and most important of all, what you can do to stop it and protect your muscle strength as you get older. By the end of this video, you'll know why certain food mixes hurt your muscle health after age 60. You'll learn which 3 vegetables you should never eat raw with eggs. You'll also discover simple ways to cook these foods so they help, not harm, your strength. And you'll walk away with a practical eating plan you can use every day, one that helps keep you strong, active, and full of energy. Let me begin by telling you something I noticed early in my career. When I first started as a doctor more than 30 years ago, I saw a strange pattern with patients over 60. Many of them were eating meals that looked very healthy. They had lots of vegetables, lean protein like eggs and whole grains. But even with all that, they kept losing muscle and feeling weaker. They'd come to me upset saying, "Dr. Reed, I'm eating better than ever. Why do I feel weaker?" The answer is something most people don't know. After 60, your body changes how it handles the food you eat. Think of your digestion like a machine that's been working for decades. Over time, it doesn't run as smoothly as it used to. Here's what's really happening inside your body. Your stomach makes about 40% less of an enzyme called pepsin, which breaks down the protein in your eggs. Your pancreas also slows down. It produces 40 to 45% fewer enzymes that help you digest food. So even if you eat the same amount of protein as before, your body only uses about 45% of it, compared to 51% when you were younger. But it gets even more challenging. Your muscles also become harder to feed. While a 30-year-old only needs about 20 grams of protein per meal to keep muscles strong, someone over 60 needs between 25 and 30 grams for the same effect. Your muscles get picky. They demand more and better protein to stay strong. You might think, well, I'll just eat more protein, Dr. Reed. And that's a smart thought. But this is where the 3 vegetables I mentioned earlier become a real problem. When these vegetables are mixed with eggs, they can actually block your body from using the protein and key minerals you need. That makes an already hard job even harder. The first vegetable I want to warn you about is spinach. Yes, I know. It's supposed to be one of the healthiest foods, right? And it is very nutritious. The problem isn't spinach itself. It's what happens when you eat it with eggs. Spinach is packed with something called oxalates. Think of oxalates as tiny magnets. They grab the minerals in your eggs, like calcium, iron, and zinc, and lock them away so your body can't use them. When you eat a spinach omelette, these oxalates can trap up to 87% of those important minerals. Your muscles never get them. To see how serious this is, think about this. Just half a cup of cooked spinach has about 755 milligrams of oxalates. That's a huge amount. When these oxalates meet the minerals in your eggs, they form hard, cement-like bonds inside your stomach. Your body can't break them apart. Instead, they pass right through without being absorbed. The second vegetable that causes trouble is Swiss chard. Like spinach, it's also full of oxalates, though a little less than spinach. But here's the tricky part. People often think Swiss chard is safer than spinach, so they eat more of it. But the oxalates work the same way, blocking your body from getting the minerals in your eggs. The third vegetable is beet greens, the leafy tops of beets. Most people used to throw them away, but health-conscious folks now add them to salads and smoothies because they're full of vitamins. But 1 cup of beet greens still has about 152 milligrams of oxalates. That's enough to block a lot of the nutrition in your eggs. Now, I want to be clear. I'm not telling you to never eat these vegetables. They're very healthy and give your body lots of benefits. The real issue is how and when you eat them with eggs. The timing and cooking method makes all the difference, and I'll show you the best way to do that in just a moment. Now that I've shared the problem, let's talk about the good news. There are many vegetables that don't fight against your eggs. In fact, They make your eggs even healthier. These are the vegetables I always recommend to my patients over 60. Bell peppers are one of my top choices. They have almost no oxalate, only about 2 milligrams per cup, compared to spinach's 755 milligrams. Plus, they're full of vitamin C, which helps your body absorb the iron in eggs up to 4 times better. Another great vegetable is broccoli. It's low in oxalates too, around 2 milligrams per cup. It's also rich in folate and vitamin K, which work together with the B vitamins in eggs to keep your energy up and your body strong. Cauliflower, zucchini, and mushrooms are also great partners for eggs. They're low in oxalates and don't have anything that stops your body from using protein. Mushrooms are extra special because they even have compounds that can help your body use protein better. And let's not forget tomatoes. They're packed with lycopene, a powerful antioxidant that becomes even more effective when mixed with the healthy fats in egg yolks. This is a perfect example of how the right food combination can make your meals work harder for your health. Here's another surprising fact. The yolk in eggs actually helps your body use the protein in the egg white better. Studies show that people who eat whole eggs build 40% more muscle protein than people who only eat the whites. This is especially important for anyone over 60 because your body needs all the help it can get to keep muscle. When you mix whole eggs with the right vegetables, you're creating meals that are not only delicious, but also powerful for muscle health. And you can do this without giving up the vegetables you love. Now here's the good news. If you love spinach, Swiss chard, or beet greens, you don't have to stop eating them. The trick is in how you cook them. Simple cooking methods can remove a lot of the stuff that blocks your body from using nutrients. For example, boiling spinach for just 3 minutes can drop the oxalate level from 755 milligrams down to just 100 milligrams. That's an 87% reduction. The oxalates leave the spinach and go into the water, which you throw away. It's like kicking the troublemaker out of the kitchen so the rest of the meal can shine. Steaming is another great method. It doesn't remove quite as many oxalates as boiling, but it can still cut them down by 30 to 60% while keeping most of the healthy vitamins and minerals. Even a quick saute, just 2 or 3 minutes in a pan, can cut oxalates in half. So, the way you cook makes a big difference. How you cook your eggs matters too, especially as you get older. Hard-boiled eggs are the easiest for your body to digest, with a 91% protein use rate. They break down well even if your digestion isn't as strong as it used to be. Poached eggs are just as good. These methods make the protein easier for older bodies to use. Scrambled eggs are still healthy, but for older adults, they may offer about 37% less usable protein than hard-boiled eggs. That doesn't mean you should stop eating scrambled eggs, but if your goal is to get the most protein benefit, hard-boiled or poached eggs are the better choice. One method I often suggest to my patients is something I call staged cooking. First, steam or saute any high oxalate vegetables. That lowers their problem-causing compounds. Then add your eggs. You can use hard-boiled or poached eggs, or even scramble them with the already cooked veggies. This way, you get the nutrients from the vegetables and your eggs without losing out on the benefits. Now, let's look at a sample day of eating if you want to support your muscle health after age 60. Remember, the goal is to get 25 to 30 grams of high-quality protein at each meal. Eggs are a great starting point for this. For breakfast, you could have a 3-egg omelette. 3 whole eggs give you about 18 grams of protein. That's already getting you close to your daily target. Fill your omelette with low-oxalate veggies like bell peppers and mushroom. You could even add a bit of cheese to boost the flavor and add more protein. The bell peppers help your body take in more iron from the eggs. The mushrooms contain special compounds that help your body use the protein better. And if you still want spinach at breakfast, no problem. Just steam a cup of spinach in a separate pan for 3 minutes. That cuts the oxalate content way down. Then you can add the spinach to your omelette or eat it as a side dish. You get the health benefits of spinach without the risk. For lunch, try a big salad with 2 hard-boiled eggs, some grilled chicken or salmon, and lots of low-oxalate vegetables like lettuce, cucumbers, bell peppers, and tomatoes. The mix of eggs and another lean protein helps you reach your 25 to 30 gram protein goal. The vegetables add fiber, vitamins, and minerals, but won't stop your body from using the protein. For dinner, you could have a serving of fish or lean meat as your main protein, with steamed broccoli and cauliflower on the side. If you want to include higher oxalate vegetables like Swiss chard, cook them separately using the right methods and eat them as a small side dish, not mixed in with your protein. One trick that many of my patients find helpful is something I call protein insurance. If you're not sure you've hit that 25 to 30 gram target at each meal, just add a hard-boiled egg. You can put it in salads, soups, or with vegetables. It's an easy way to boost your protein without doing much extra work. The timing of your meals isn't as important as making sure you hit your protein target daily. Some people like 3 big meals a day. Others prefer smaller meals more often. What matters most is finding a pattern that helps you get enough protein all day long. Let me now share some simple habits that can make eating for muscle strength easier and more doable. One of the biggest challenges I see is when people say eating healthy takes too much time and effort. But with a little planning, you can set yourself up for the week with just a couple of hours. Start by batch cooking eggs. Every Sunday, boil a dozen eggs. That gives you ready-to-eat protein that lasts all week in the fridge. Hard-boiled eggs are super flexible. You can slice them into salads, mash them for egg salad, or just eat one as a snack. Do the same with vegetables. Steam a big batch of broccoli, cauliflower, bell peppers, and zucchini. Store them in containers in your fridge. When it's time to eat, just reheat and mix with eggs or other protein foods. Even high oxalate vegetables like spinach or Swiss chard can be made in batches. Steam or lightly boil them, then drain and store them. This removes most of the problem-causing compounds. Now you can enjoy them throughout the week without worrying about losing nutrition. Here's another time-saving trick my patients love. Prepare protein foundation meal. Over the weekend, cook several egg-based dishes in advance. For example, you could make a veggie frittata with low-oxalate vegetables or mini egg muffins filled with mushrooms and bell peppers. Portion these out for the week. You now have meals ready to grab and go. Meals that help your muscles stay strong. When you want to enjoy high-oxalate vegetables, remember this simple rule. Keep them separate. Don't mix raw spinach straight into your eggs. Instead, cook your eggs as the main part of your meal and have the spinach or Swiss chard as a separate, properly cooked side dish. That way, you still get the nutrients from the veggies, but they don't block the protein from your eggs. Don't mix raw spinach straight into your eggs. Instead, cook your eggs as the main part of your meal and have the spinach or Swiss chard as a separate, properly cooked side dish. That way, you still get the nutrients from the veggies, but they don't block the protein from your eggs. While we've mostly talked about eggs and vegetables today, it's important to understand that muscle health after 60 is about more than just one meal. It's about building an eating routine that fits your body's new needs. Spreading your protein out during the day is key. Many people eat a light breakfast, a medium lunch, and a big dinner. Instead, try to keep your protein amounts more even in all 3 meals. This gives your muscles a steady supply of nutrients they need to stay strong. Don't forget hydration. It's a big part of this. As we age, our bodies don't feel thirst as clearly. Many older adults are mildly dehydrated without knowing it. Water helps your muscles use protein properly. Aim for about 8 glasses a day. Foods like vegetables also help keep you hydrated. Exercise matters too, especially resistance training. You don't have to lift heavy weights. Even simple bodyweight moves or resistance bands help your muscles use protein better. And don't underestimate sleep. When you're in deep sleep, your body repairs and builds muscle. Poor sleep stops this process and can cancel out even the best meals. Now, let's talk briefly about something many people don't consider, your mindset. I often remind my patients that your thoughts about food and aging shape your health more than you realize. If you think, it's too late for me, or I'm too old to get stronger, your body listens. But the truth is, you're never too old to build strength, energy, and confidence. I've seen people in their 70s and 80s completely turn their health around just by making small, steady changes. It starts with believing that it's possible. When you shift your mindset from I can't to I'm trying, you create room for real progress. Think of your meals as acts of care, not chores. You're not just eating to fill your stomach. You're feeding your muscles, your energy, your independence. That mindset makes every bite feel more powerful, more meaningful. Let's say you're watching this and thinking, I've been doing it all wrong. That's okay. This is not about guilt. It's about knowing better and doing better. Every meal is a chance to turn things around. Now, I want to give you a few real-life stories from my own practice to show you what's possible. One of my patients, Maria, came to me at age 67. She was tired all the time, struggling with balance, and told me, I just don't feel strong anymore. We looked at her meals and found she was barely getting 40 grams of protein a day, and most of it came at dinner. Her breakfast was usually toast and coffee. Her lunch was just a small soup or salad. That meant her muscles went all day without enough fuel. We made a few changes. She started her day with 2 boiled eggs and some sauteed mushroom. At lunch, she added grilled chicken or tuna to her salad. She kept dinner light but balanced. She also began doing simple chair exercises for 10 minutes a day. After just 6 weeks, she came back glowing. She said, "I wake up with energy. I'm walking farther without needing to sit down. I feel younger." She didn't need fancy supplements or gym memberships, just real food and smart habits. Another patient, Harold, age 73, had been skipping meals because he lived alone and didn't like cooking. His muscles were shrinking, and he was losing strength in his hands. We started with one thing, batch cooking eggs on Sundays. Then we added some high-protein snacks he liked, like Greek yogurt and cottage cheese. Slowly, he rebuilt his meals. Now he tells me, "I feel like I've taken control of my health again." His grip strength improved, and he's back to gardening, which he loves. These stories aren't rare. I've seen these kinds of results over and over. When people understand how food affects their body and take small steps, they begin to see change. And once you start seeing change, you want to keep going. I don't want you to finish this video and think, "That was interesting," and then forget it. I want you to feel a spark. I want you to go into your kitchen and say, "What can I do today to care for my body better?" Because that's where strength begins, not in the gym, not at the doctor's office, but in your daily habits, in your mindset, and in your kitchen. You have the power to make this change, starting right now. Even if all you do today is boil 6 eggs, that's a win. Even if you steam some spinach and keep it in the fridge for later, that's a win. Every small action adds up. You don't need perfection. You need progress. You need momentum. It's okay if you forget sometimes. It's okay if you mess up a meal. What matters is that you keep trying, and the more you try, the more natural it becomes, until one day you realize you're eating like someone who values their strength, their energy, their life. So, what's the next step? First, look at your meals today. Are you getting at least 25 grams of protein in each one? If not, pick one meal, maybe breakfast, and work on improving just that. Once that feels easy, move on to the next meal. Second, try prepping some foods ahead of time. Boil eggs, steam vegetables, and cook 1 or 2 simple dishes you can use throughout the week. Don't worry about being perfect. Just focus on building a rhythm that works for you. Third, take a moment to think about your mindset. Are you being kind to yourself? Are you believing that your health still matters? Because it does. Whether you're 60, 70, 80, or beyond, your body is always ready to heal and grow stronger. It's never too late. Not even close. That's one of the most powerful lessons I've learned from my patients. I've seen men and women in their 80s go from weak and tired to strong, happy, and full of life, just by making small changes that stuck. If you've been skipping meals or avoiding protein because it felt too hard or confusing, now you have a plan. You know what to do. Aim for 25 to 30 grams of protein per meal. Eat your eggs. Cook your veggies. Build those strong habits, one day at a time. And remember, it's not just about living longer. It's about living better. Being able to walk without pain, carry your groceries, play with your grandkids, and wake up with energy. That's what food can give you when you eat with care. If this video helped you feel more confident about eating after 60, share it with a friend who might need to hear it too. So many people think they just have to accept feeling weak or tired as they get older. But that's not true. Not even close. Together, we can change that. One strong meal at a time. One strong mindset at a time. You've got this. Your next chapter can be full of strength, energy, and joy, starting today.